Hi everyone, welcome to video lectures on data mining and data warehousing, Module 5, Clustering Analysis. So now this is the words method and the centroid methods. So after that, agglomerative hierarchical clustering algorithm. So for the words method, the proximity between two clusters is defined as the increases in the squared error. So that is the result when two clusters are merged. So we had an example. So thus this method actually uses the same objective function such as k-means clustering. While it may seem that this feature makes Ward's method somewhat distinct from the hierarchical clustering. So mathematically, Ward method is very similar to the group average method when proximity between two points is taken to be square of the distance between them. So example here, the next slide. Word clustering of the 6 point I have shown, where the point 3 and 6 will be merged together along with 4, and certainly we had taken included the word method is taking, so connecting to the 1. So then 5 and 2 are different, then fourth will be connected to the last at the end. So it says that the resulting applying the words method to the sample data set of 6 points, the clustering that is produced is different from those produced by a single link. So complete link and group average. Centroid methods calculate the proximity between two clusters by calculating distance between the centroid of clusters. So this technique may seem similar to the k-means, but as we have remarked, the words method is the correct hierarchical analog. Centroid methods also have a characteristic often considered a bad that is not possessed by the other hierarchical clustering technique that we are going to discuss later, the possibility of inversion. Specifically, the two clusters here are merged with more similar, that is called less distant, so than the pair of clusters that were merged in previous step. So for the other method, the distance between merged clusters actually monotonically which increases, or we say that as worst or non-increasing as we proceed from the singleton cluster to one of all the inclusive of the custom. So other thing is there are other calculation of Planck's Williams formula for the cluster proximity also will be taken into that. Any of the cluster proximities that we have discussed in that, so viewed as a choice of the parameter that is called as Lange-Williams formula. After this, there are key issues in hierarchical clustering. One issue is the lack of global objective function. So here, agglomerative hierarchical clustering cannot be viewed as a globally optimizing an objective function. Instead, agglomerative hierarchical clustering technique uses various criteria to decide which are locally at each step. So which cluster should be merged. So this approach always yields clustering algorithm that avoid difficulty of attempting to solve a hard combinatorial optimization kind of problem. So another issue is in hierarchical clustering is ability to handle different cluster size. So here one aspect of that agglomerative hierarchical clustering that so we have not yet discussed here how treat the relative size of the pair of the clusters which are merged. So this is like there are two approaches here, weighted which all treat clusters equally and unweighted which takes the number of points in each cluster into account. So note that here terminology of weighted or unweighted, we are going to refer to the data point, not the cluster. In other words, here treating the clusters of unequal size equally gives different weight to the point in different clusters. So while taking the cluster size into account, which gives the point in different clusters and the same weight. So another key issue is so merging decisions are final. So the agglomerative hierarchical clustering algorithm actually tend to make a good local decisions about combining two clusters since they can use information about the pairwise similarity of all the points. However, once a decision is made to merge two clusters, it cannot be undone at a later time. So actually this approach prevents local optimization criterion from becoming a global optimization criteria. So we are taking that example of this kind of thing, minimizing squared error criterion for k-means we are used to deciding which the clusters here to merge the wards method. So here what will happen? The cluster at each level do not represent local minimum with respect to the total sum of squared error will be taken. There are some techniques that attempt to overcome limitations that mergers are final. So one approach here to attempt the fix the hierarchical clustering is by moving a branch of tree around this to improve the global objective function. Another approach uses a partitional clustering technique such as k-means to create many small clusters, then performs the hierarchical clustering using these small clusters as the starting point. So the last point about this agglomerative hierarchical clustering is strength and weakness. The strength and weakness of specific agglomerative hierarchical clustering algorithm where whatever we discussed more generally, such algorithms are typically used. So because the underlying application creation of taxonomy require hierarchy, there have been studies suggest that these algorithms can produce better quality clusters. However, agglomerative hierarchical clustering algorithms are expensive in terms of their computational and storage requirement. The fact that all the mergers are final can also cause trouble for noisy, high-dimensional data such as document data. In turns, these are the two problems can address to some of degree by first partially clustering the data using another technique such as k-means. In the next slide, we are going to discuss density-based clustering algorithm, regions of high density that so DB scan. Now we are going to discuss DB scan algorithm that is density-based clustering locates region of high density that are separated from one another by the region of low density. DB-scan is a simple and effective density-based clustering algorithm so that illustrate a number of important concepts that are important for any density-based clustering approach. So here we are going to mainly focus on DBScan. So after the first considering the key notion of density. So other algorithm will be discussed later. So first we would discuss about traditional density, that is center based approach. So as we know about the center based, the approach is density is estimated for a particular point in the data set by counting the number of points within a specified radius, that is EPS. We have taken EPS of the point. So this includes the point itself. The technique is graphically, which are illustrated in the diagrammatically. So within the radius of EPS, the point, assume that capital A, so A itself. So here this method is simple to implement, but density of the point will depend on the specified radius. So for instance, if the radius is large enough, then all the points will have a density of m, the number of points in the data set. So likewise, if the radius is too small, then so all the points will have a density of 1. So an approach for deciding an appropriate radius for low dimensional data is given for the context of discussion is DBScan. So here there are points we need to be considered. Classification of point according to center base density. So what does it? The center base approach to density, which allow us to classify a point as being number one in the interior of dense region, that is a core point. Second, on the edge of dense region, that is a border point. Third one, in a sparsely occupied region, that is a noise or background point. So which is there in next diagram. So the core point, so these points are in the interior density based cluster. Okay, here the core point, which is uh, visible in this diagram. All the points we are going to discuss in the classification of a point according to the center base density. So EPS is the, so we have just earlier the number of points within the radius, that is EPS. So counting the number of points within the specified radius, that is called EPS point. So here a point is a core point if the number of points within the neighborhood are around. So the point as determined by the distance of the function as a user specified distance parameter EPS. So when the exceeds certain threshold, m is in the point. Okay. So then, which is also user specified parameter. So in this figure, the point A is a core point. The point A is the core point. We are calling it as the A is the core point for the indicated radius EPS, whatever the EPS, this radius, which is less than or equal to 7. So radius will be from here to here 7, less than or equal. Similarly, next point is the border point we are going to discuss. A border point is not a core point but falls within the neighborhood of the core point. So this is almost not a core point but falls within the neighborhood of the core point. So in the figure B here, sorry, the point B is the border point. We can call it this is the border point of this entire core. So this is the point B is the border point. A border point can fall within the neighborhood of several core points. So another is the noise point. Noise point is any point that is neither a core point, or we can call it as a nor border point. So here capital C, the C is a noise point, we can call so neither nor of the cases. So this is the how the classification of a point according to the center base, the interior dense region, we will be call it as a core point once again. So on the edge of the dense region, we will call it as a border point. So the last one, in a sparsely occupied region, that is we can call it a noise or background point. So this is the original image, and which we having all three classification point according to this center radius EPS. So the DB scan algorithm. So as per the given previous definitions of the core point, border point, and noise point, the DB scan algorithm can be informally we can describe as so any two core points that are close enough, so within a distance of EPS of one another, so which are put in the same cluster. Likewise, any border point that is close enough to a core point is put the same cluster as the core point. Another thing, noise point are discarded. So now we are going to discuss the algorithm use the same concept and find the same clusters as the original DB scan, but it optimized for simplicity, not for the efficiency. So let us discuss first point. The first step of this algorithm is so label all the point as a core, border, and noise point. So the given set of point in the entire clusters. So we should label it as the so because we need to take the first radius. So within that radius, we need to set it as a point as a core, border, and noise. The length of the radius we need to be drawn as per the I think it is 7 or whatever that the size of the radius we need to be drawn. So based upon that, we need to decide as a core and border and noise point. Complete circle will be taken. So next, as per this algorithm, eliminate noise point as much as possible. So third step, put an edge between all the core point so that are within the EPS of each other. So the next steps is that make each group of connected core point into a separate cluster. We are going to connect all the group of core point and we are making separate cluster. So assign each border point to one of the clusters as of its associated respective core point. So that is the thing. So here the case we are taking the radius will be less than or equal to 7 minimum point. So based upon that we are taking the radius. So this is the 5 steps algorithm which will work repeat all the points whenever the remaining point. In this algorithm, so we should discuss about a certain point here. First one, time and space complexity. Selection of DB scan parameter, which is very important with example. Clusters of varying density. So that example will be taken. Strength and weakness. First point here, time and space complexity. The basic time of complexity of the DB scan. So which is algorithm is O of the order of m into small m into to find the time to find the point in the EPS neighborhood. So where small m is the number of points, in the worst case this complexity is always O of small m square. However, in a low dimensional spaces there are data structures such as KD trees, so which allows efficient retrieval of all the points so within a given distance of a specified point, and that time complexity can be O of m into log of m. Another point here, the space complexity, the space requirement of DB scan, even for high dimensional data O of m, because it is only necessary to keep a small amount of data for each point. Here, one thing you need to remember, the cluster label and identification of each point as a core, border, or noise point. The second thing is the selection of DB scan parameters. So when looking to this point, so issue of how to determine the parameter EPS and the minimum point, that is the task. Actually, the basic approach is to look at the behavior, the distance from the point to its kth nearest neighbor, which we will call k distance. For the point that belong to the subcluster, the value of k distance will be small if k is larger than the cluster size. So here we need to note that there will be some variations which are depending on the density of the cluster and the random distribution of the point, but average density of the clusters, so which are average will be different. However, the points that are always not in a cluster, such as noise point, we can call it as a noise point. So the k distance will be relatively large in such cases. So therefore, so we compute or calculate the k distance for all the data point for the sum k, and we are going to sort them in increasing order, and then we plot the all the sorted values. Then we expect to see sharp changes in the k distance correspond to the suitable value of a EPS. So if we select this distance as the EPS parameter and take the value of k is the minimum points parameter, then point k, which is the k distance less than EPS, will be labeled as always a core point, while other point will be labeled as noise, or we can be call it as a border point. So one diagrammatical representation we have taken in the next slide. So we will see there. Another is point in the DB scan algorithm, cluster of varying density. The DB scan have a trouble with the density if the density of cluster varies widely. So that will be, we will have a one diagrammatical representation. So in that, the density of the cluster and noise regions is indicated by their darkness. The noise around their pair of denser clusters, for example, capital A and B, has the same density as the clusters of C and D. So if the EPS threshold is low enough that so the DBs can find C and D as the cluster, then capital A and B and the point surrounding then will become a single. So next, the strength and weakness. The V-scan uses a density-based definition of the cluster. It is relatively resistant to the noise, and we can handle the cluster arbitrary shape and size. The DB can find the many clusters that could not be found in a k-means such as we have taken in the previous diagram. DB-scan has a trouble when the clusters have widely varying densities. So finally, the DB-scan can expensive when computation of the nearest neighbor require computing all the pairwise proximity such as so usually the case of high dimensional data. So this is the example we have taken. One is the case distance for sample data and the sample data and four cluster embedded in the place of noise. So in this figure, four cluster embedded in the noise. So that is the varying in the figure 8.22. So that we are the selection of the parameter. So the sample data with while k distance graph of the data is given in figure 8.23. The value of EPS is determined, the weight depends upon the K but doesn't change dramatically as a K changes. Here in this diagram, the value of K is too small even when a small number of closely spaced points that are noise or outlier will be incorrectly labeled as clusters. So if the value of K is too large, then small clusters size is less than k, which are likely to be labeled as a noise. So in this case, the original DB-scan algorithm used value of k is equal to 4. So it appears to be a reasonable value for the most two-dimensional data set. So in this diagram, that is the clusters of varying density. So it shows that four clusters embedded in noise. The density of the cluster and noise region is indicated by this darkness. The noise around the pair of denser cluster A and B so has the same density as the cluster C and D that we have just discussed about. So here EPS threshold is low enough that DBs can find the C and D cluster than A and B surrounding will be a single cluster. So this is about that four clusters embedded in the noise. So another point here to illustrate the use of DBs can be so the cluster that point that in the relatively complicated 2D data which we have shown here. So this data consists of assume that 3000 2D point. So the EPS threshold for this data was found by plotting a shorter distance for the nearest in the diagrammatical representation. So and identifying the respective value at which there is a sharp increases. So from the 0 to here, the sharp increases. We can see that. Suppose that select the EPS value equal to 10, so which correspond to the knee of the curve, that is called as a knee of the curve. So the cluster bounded by DB scan using this parameter minimum point equal to 4. And APS is equal to radius is 10, total radius will be the 10. So that we can see that in this figure, how we have taken that one. So this is about the complete DB scan algorithm and their variations, time complexity, an example, all will be taken. So another example, we have cluster found in DBScan and noise point, border point, and core point. So in case of the example is that 3002 dimensional. This example we have going to extend here. This is the cluster founded by DBScan. So how the cluster founded by DBScan? So the initial diagram. So let we have to put here which and all after making the k is equal to and 4 and EPS is equal to total 10 radius. So there are four different symbol will be here that we have taken k is equal to 4. So now we are going to do it. What are the core point, border point, and the noise point? How we are going to identify them? So that is the another diagram. So that is the here we are going to noise point. That is where all the X mark will be there, all XX will be there. That we can call it as a noise point, where the plus and minus symbol will be there after taking the radius. So that what we will do, so usually we can call it as a border point, where the small circle and a minus will be there, or that plus will be called, we can call it as a border point, and a dotted circle will be called it as a core point. There is no minus here, only into symbol plus, and this is the dotted, this is the darkened circle. So this is about the complete discussion of DBScan algorithm. Now we are going to discuss cluster evaluation. So we had seen about the supervised classification. The evaluation of the resulting classification model is an integral part of the process of developing a classification model, and there will be accepted evaluation measures and procedures. Example, accuracy, cross validation respectively. So, however, uh, uh, because of its very nature, cluster evaluation is not a well developed or commonly used part of the cluster analysis. So, nonetheless, cluster evaluation or cluster validation, so as it is more traditionally called, is important. So that we are going to discuss. There are many cluster validation approaches. There might be some confusion to why cluster evaluation is necessary. So many times the cluster analysis which are conducted a part of exploratory data analysis. Hence, the evaluation seems like an unnecessarily complicated additional analysis. So for instance, K-means cluster might be evaluated in terms of the SSE, sum of squared error, but the density-based clusters which need not be a globular or SSE would not work at all in such cases. So regarding this, so who we are going to consider and what and all need to be considered, that we are going to discuss a cluster evaluation. Let us discuss first overview of the cluster evaluation. So being able to discuss whether there is non-random structure in the data is just one important aspect of the cluster validation. So now we would discuss the following is the list of several important issues for cluster validation. Among that, first one is determining the clustering tendency of a set of data. So that is distinguishing whether non-random structure actually exists in the data. Second point, so here the first point what is said that clustering tendency. We should always see that non-random structure. Second here, determining the correct number of clusters was to determine by using any kind of the method. Third, evaluating how well the result of cluster analysis to fit the data without reference to the external any kind of information. Later, comparing the result of the cluster analysis to externally known results such as externally provided class labels. And the last one, the point 5, we have not taken here, comparing two set of clusters to determine which is the better. So now here the step or point 1, 2, 3 do not make use of any external information. They are unsupervised technique. And fourth point require the external information. So fifth point might be the supervised or unsupervised manner. So this is the way the evaluation measures indices which are applied to a judge various aspects of cluster validity are traditionally classified into the following three types. So that is unsupervised, supervised, and relative. So we would discuss about the unsupervised, which measures the goodness of the clustering structure without respect to the external information. An example of this is called as sum of squared error SSE. So unsupervised always measures the cluster validity are often further divided into two measures or classes, that is cluster cohesion, that is called as compactness or tightness, which is determine how closely related to the object in a clusters are, and measure of a cluster's separation, that is called as isolation here, which determines how distinct or well separated clusters is from the other clusters. So next point is the supervised. So measures the extent to which the clustering structure which are discovered by a clustering algorithm matches some external structure. An example of supervised index is the entropy, which measures how well cluster labels match externally supplied class label. That is called as external indices. Third one is third type is relative, which compares the different clustering or clusters. A relative cluster evaluation measures is supervised, or in case of unsupervised, the evaluation measures that is used for the purpose of the combination. Thus, relative measures are not actually a separate type of cluster evaluation measure, but are instead a specific use of such measures. As an example of 2K means clustering can be compared either using SSE or entropy. So this is the thing, the overview of the cluster evaluation. So let us discuss the first point, what we are supervised, or that is the thing is unsupervised cluster evaluation by using cohesion and separation technique. So here, the many internal measures of the cluster validity or the partitional clustering or scheme which are based on the notions of cohesion or always separation. Here, the process we will see some interesting relationship between prototype and graph-based clustering. So in general, we can consider expressing overall cluster validity for a set of K cluster as weighted sum of the validity of individual clusters, so that we can take it in the form of this equation. Overall validity equal to I equal to 1 to K Wi into validity of set. Now let us take here that was the validity. So validity function can be a cohesion, separation, or some combination of these two quantities. Here the weight we have taken wi. The weight will vary depending on the cluster validity measures. So in some cases, so they reflect a more complicated property such as the square root of the cohesion. So this is the unsupervised cluster evaluation using cohesion or any kind of separation. We are going to use this form. The second is graph-based view of cohesion and separation. So this is the case for a graph-based cluster. The cohesion of cluster can be defined as the sum of weight linked to the proximity of the graph connect to the point at the cluster that we will see in the next slide. So here mathematically, so cohesion and separation for a graph-based cluster can be expressed using this equation following two equations respectively. The proximity function can be a similarity or in case a dissimilarity or a simple function of these quantities. The cohesion of Ci equal to, so here S belongs to the number of cluster or Y belongs to the number of cluster summation. The proximity of the object, there are two data object X, Y. Similarly, separation of Ci on Cj of ith and jth data object. So again, X belongs to the data object C ith cluster, Y belongs to the cluster C jth cluster. Proximity of X, Y will be taken. So this is the graph-based view of cluster cohesion and separation. So here in this figure, so the proximity of graph has data object as node link between the each pair of data object and weight assigned to each link, that is the proximity between the two data object generated by the link. So in the separation between two clusters can be measured here by the sum of weight of the link from the point in one cluster to the another point other cluster. This is the figure B. So next year, prototype based view of cohesion and separation. So we will go into the directly mathematical point of equations. Prototype based clusters, the cohesion of a cluster can be defined as the sum of the proximities with respect to the prototype, that is called as centroid or midon of the cluster. Similarity, separation between two clusters can be measured by the proximity of two clusters or the prototype. So this we can take it as a plus symbol is illustrated. So in this year, the Ci we are going to take the prototype centroid and capital Ci is the and C is the overall prototype centroid and capital Ci is the number of clusters. So mathematically we can simplify this equation. Cohesion of Ci equal to summation x belongs to the Ci proximity of x comma Ci. The separation of Ci and Cj is the proximity of these two. Separation of Ci is proximity of Ci and C. So here overall measure of cohesion and separation. As per our previous definition, the cluster validity that can be combined into overall measure of the cluster validity by using weighted sum as we have indicated in the previous equation. So this is about overall measures that also we need to decide what weight to use and not. Surprisingly, the weight used can vary widely, although typically they are sum of or measures of the cluster size. So in the relationship between prototype based cohesion and graph based cohesion, so that is also will be taken as a cluster of SSC always distance of C comma x whole square. So that equal to 2 into mi summation x belongs to Ci, y belongs to Ci, summation distance of equality distance will be calculated. So there are two approach of prototype based separation will be taken, total SSB calculation. Another is the relation between cohesion and separation. That is of the TSS will be calculated. So next evaluating here. So evaluating individual clusters and objects. So far we have focused on using cohesion and separation overall. So evaluation of a group of clusters. Many of these measures, cluster validity also can be used to evaluate individual cluster and also individual object. So in this case, so we are going to mainly discuss the Siloty coefficient. It is the one of the popular method of Siloty coefficient combines both cohesion and separation. Just we should discuss 3 point is enough. We use the distance, but an analogous approach can be used a similar radius. So here, first point for the ith object, we should calculate the average distance to all other objects in its cluster. So call this is as a AI. So by using average distance will be calculated here, similarity coefficient. Second point for the ith object and any cluster not containing the object, calculate the object average distance to all the object in the given cluster, find the minimum which uh, such values with respect to all the clusters. We should call this is value by bi. So this is ai and another is bi. So for the ith object, the similarity coefficient is Si equal to Bi minus Ai divided by max of Ai and Bi. So any one can be taken in after dividing this. So here the value of the similarity coefficient can vary between -1 to +1. The negative value is undesirable because the correspond to the case of with AI, the average distance to the point in the cluster greater than BI, the minimum average distance to the pointer in any other cluster. So we want to the similarity coefficient to be a positive. AI is less than BI. For AI is to be a close to 0 as possible, since the coefficient assumes that maximum value of 1 when AI always equal to 0. So this is about similarity coefficient, uh, especially evaluating individual clusters and objects.